Welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, July 7th, 2017. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. With the influx of visitors in the country, Assistant Commissioner of Police Frankie Joseph is urging persons to safeguard themselves against criminal elements and for carnival revelers to have clean fun for Vincy Mass 2017. In an interview with SVG-TV News earlier today, ACP Joseph said though the busy weekend of activities may pose a challenge for the 900-plus strong force, they are up to the challenge. He said so far the stop and search exercises have proven to be effective and will continue to be in full effect, as well as their T-First program, which aims to rid the streets of illegal firearms.
Patrons who are coming into Kingston, they are taking heed, which is very good news. That our stop and searches in Windward and Leeward, we are not, getting that many weapons. So it means that our awareness messages are kind of sinking in with the persons who are coming into Kingston, which is really good. And as you mentioned, the Power Soca, that is one of the big issues every year. And one of the things that we actually do and are being very successful in that show is that particular show, we have more than adequate police personnel working in that shows. And what we do is that we position our security forces in all of the stands, looking down on the crowd. And also on the ground, we flood that show also, and on the outside.
While ACP Joseph gives the assurance of optimum security in and around Capital Kingstown, he was questioned on strategies aimed at ensuring safety in the areas across the country. And according to him, the police presence will be pronounced nationwide.
Soca Monarch Night, we would not have 400 police officers there. That number would not be required to police the park. Okay, so we still have quite a number of officers stationed in all of the out-district stations. Coast Guard, who is guarding the coastline, is still operational there. In the Grenadines, in Barley, and throughout the coastline. But enjoy yourself. Don't overdrink, don't overdo it, and please just walk with your money and yourself to enjoy yourself.
ACP Joseph also divulged that the force has taken the decision to close its training school for the carnival season in an effort to get the assistance from the recruits to ensure safe Vincy Mass 2017. We close our training school because we have a batch of recruits at the training school, and we close our training school for that purpose, for carnival purpose, and that is to increase, and all of those recruits are in Kingston. It's 36 recruits. What happened is that those recruits were in the system for a few months before we put them at the training school. So they are now in training school doing their initial training, and but they were on the job working, but we have closed the training school until after Carnival. So therefore we have strengthened the security throughout around Kingston. Meanwhile, information coming to hand is that there has been a burglary at the General Post Office building in Capital Kingstown. The perpetrator or perpetrators reportedly made off with an undisclosed sum of money. The matter is under investigation. And motorists are being urged to be responsible and avoid drinking and driving. The advice comes from Station Sergeant Henry Providence of the Traffic Department as he spoke with SVG-TV News on issues relating to traffic safety during this busy carnival weekend of activities. Sergeant Providence reminded the public that a vehicle can be as deadly as a loaded firearm and appealed to persons to be responsible on the roads.
And drinking, the effect that could have on someone, not just yourself, but the other drivers, other motorists, and the general public on a whole. So we were really imploring our drivers this year to refrain from drinking and driving. We know, yes, you're going to have a nice time, and some persons are in the habit of drinking when they're having a nice time. But we want you to be very tolerant in your drinking. We want you to understand the effect that it can have on you, on your body, and the negative effects that it can have also on the general public and other motorists. So we want to really reinforce that into the minds of our motorists as they go about and having fun. We want you to have fun, yes, but you can have fun without being excessive in your drinking. All right, so we want to really push that forward for Vincy Mas 2017. The department is going to be very vigilant in regards to that. We know the seriousness of it, and we're going to be very, very vigilant when it comes to drinking and driving for Vincy Mas 2017.
The police sergeant also recommends that persons carpool to avoid a bumper-to-bumper traffic in and out of capital Kingston.
Because once you're coming into Kingston, for instance, from a home with 2 or 3 vehicles, and you come with 2 or 3 of you come together in that one vehicle, and let's say, for instance, that somebody overuse alcohol and so forth, there's an alternative driver in that vehicle that can take you back home. And these are some of the benefits of carpooling. So one advice persons to do that this year again, and we know that there are a number of events that are outside of capital Kingston. And again, the traffic department will be very vigilant when it comes to that. We'll be ensuring that our presence is felt. We want to ensure that persons do so very cleanly, very soberly, without incident or accident. And that is our main role. That's why we are there, is to ensure that persons who are having some nice time, having a good time, that they are able to do so without any incident or without any accident. And that is our major purpose, and we're going to continue to, as I said, be very vigilant in these areas to ensure that Vincy Mas 2017 goes down as one of the better ones for us in regards to accidents and incidents.
And the traffic cop also expressed concern with the number of young children left unattended in capital city Kingston during this time. Station Sergeant Providence said over the years, the department has noticed a number of children left to roam the city, adding that this is a situation that is unsafe for them and called on parents to be more responsible.
Quite often and too often we see very young children, 4, 5, 6-year-old children, that are brought into capital Kingston with their parents, guardians, older ones, or whoever they might come into Kingston with, and are left to roam the streets of Kingston unattended. This has become of some serious concern to us as a department. We have to be mindful of the nature of our people and what is happening around carnival time. Persons are consuming alcohol. But persons must also understand that it is not just the whole issue of that child being involved in an accident. We have to also understand that a small percentage of our country is criminal-minded, and we have to also take that into account when we left our youngsters in Kingston unattended. We are opening them to a lot of danger, and we want the guardians and parents to refrain from doing this, and to ensure that when they do bring their children into capital Kingston, they ensure that they are safe, especially for Vincy Mas 2017.
Sergeant Providence said during the carnival festivities, he would never advise persons to bring young children into town and give some recommendations to parents.
First and foremost, I would like to advise persons that if you're going to come into Kingston, whether you're going to do business or you're going to have fun, that you must find some designated person, some person of some level of responsibility, first and foremost, to leave a child with at home. Because I would never advise persons that are coming into capital Kingston, whether you're going to do business or you're coming to have some fun, to bring along your 4- and 5-year-old. Because it will be difficult for you to really supervise them properly the way they ought to be supervised. So what I'm advising persons to do is to find some designated person, whether it's your neighbor, an older sibling, some family member, somebody that they could leave this child with at home rather than bringing them into Kingston, where they will not be in a position to properly supervise them. And at the end of the day, we are hearing that this child is missing or this child is lost. And we do not want that to be an issue this year. Again, it has been an issue in the past. And we're really hoping that parents will take control of their youngsters.
Keeping in tune with the mantra of change for Vincy Mas 2017, Mardi Gras will see a major change as it exits the doors of Victoria Park. CDC Chairman Ricardo Adams announced that the July 11th Carnival event will be all about Destination Tokyo, which will see a total transformation of the venue normally occupied by vendors and buses. Adams told SVG-TV's Nolisha Miller The move from Victoria Park will allow patrons to develop a full appreciation of the Vincentian craft, while at the same time creating a new image for Old Tokyo.
The streets of Kingstown will be bursting with vibrant colors on Tuesday, July 11th, 2017, as the Carnival Development Corporation makes its move from Victoria Park to Old Tokyo, where the creation of a cultural village will be mounted for masqueraders and patrons alike. Fittingly dubbed Destination Tokyo, CDC Chairman Ricardo Adams stated that the move to Old Tokyo was to better give mass bands a fair opportunity for the craft to be judged, but to be admired and leave a lasting impression on patrons.
The mass bands always have a story to tell, because mass is about using creativity and using visual to tell a story. And so they came up with the concept of Destination Tokyo, and we're working with them. We're going to provide them an area, a location with a backdrop and everything like that, that replicates the Victoria Park stage, so that they'll have the same amount of space that they would. We're going to be providing seating for the patrons. We're going to be providing stage settings for the judges. We're going to be providing, all of the services that you would get in Victoria Park, just in a venue that, if we think about how it can be very much more aesthetically pleasing, can be a lot more intimate, because we're going to look at turning Little Tokyo into a festival village for Carnival Tuesday.
With such a significant change to the Vincy Mass product, Adam says he is happy that everyone is on board with Destination Tokyo.
Well, in fact, that's one of the things that we did. We approached the vendors, we went through town board, and we actually got a meeting set up with a lot of the vendors who would be affected. And the vendors themselves have agreed to work with us. They are not going to be removed from the location. What we're going to do is we're looking to relocate them to positions and put them in a little bit better surroundings so that they can continue to ply their trade. The shops that are open and that have their events going on, as we have right behind us right now, those are going to be able to continue to operate on Carnival Tuesday.
With the goal of transforming Old Tokyo and ultimately creating a new image for Vincentians to appreciate the mass culture, the CDC chairman said refurbishments to the venue were absolutely necessary.
In order to realize what we want to, we have to look at doing some refurbishments. So we've come in, we've painted the roofs, we've had situations where some of the canopies are deteriorated, so we're replacing them. We're doing a lot of work with the bathrooms, because the intent is that when we leave Tokyo on Friday night, after having arrived at Destination Tokyo, when we leave, Little Tokyo would be better for our having passed through.
Adam said he is confident that Destination Tokyo will be a major success.
I mean, I have a fantastic infrastructural team at CDC, and we're working CDC along with the town board, support staff, etc. And we've done a lot of work so far. There is actually a location being pitched and so further down where we can relocate the carts and so the temporary structures for that day. But I have been assured by the team that when you come into Tokyo on Tuesday morning, you would see a total transformation of this venue.
With the climax of Vincy Mass quickly approaching, come Tuesday, July 11th, Old Tokyo will be transformed into a carnival village as the CDC hosts its Mardi Gras. And according to its organizers, with everyone on board, nothing but success is expected. For Carnival Beats, I'm Nolisha Miller.
As the Vincy Mass calendar of events continues, hundreds of patrons flocked to the Victoria Park last evening to be a part of the Grand Steel and Glitter event. Known as the only showcase where the creative mass display meets the sweet melody of steel pan, the event sum up the competitions for the 2017 Senior Panorama and the section of the bands. Nikita Tony tells us more in this report.
Event where mass meets pan, the Victoria Park was filled with an array of beautiful colors and melodious steel pan music at the 2017 Steel and Glitter event, which featured the finals of the Senior Panorama and section of the bands competition on Thursday evening, July 6. As they celebrate 50 years of contributing to the Vincy Mass product, the Starlift Steel Orchestra dethroned 2016 Senior Panorama champs Sion Hill Euphorium, who had to settle for second place. Coming in third was the Scotiabank Southeast Steel Orchestra. Eleven mass bands competed in the section of the bands competition, but at the end of the night it was the SVG Players International Mass Band who walked away with this year's title. Second position went to Blondie Birds and Friends. With the Lynx Mass Band taking the third position. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
Deemed as the biggest competitive event on the Vincy Mass calendar, the Victoria Park will turn into an atmosphere of high energy and entertainment on Saturday night for the Ragga Soca and Power Soca competitions, featuring 23 of this nation's best who will attempt to dethrone reigning Ragga Soca monarch Chawali Johnson and Soca monarch Shane Hyper 4000 husbands. As the artists wrap up final preparations for the highly anticipated event, SVG-TV's Nikita Tony caught up with the reigning monarch as well as a 2017 finalist to hear what they intend to bring to the stage on competition night.
Undoubtedly the most energetic, star-studded, highly anticipated event for Vincy Mass. Vincentians and visitors alike will this Saturday night, July 8th, witness the crowning of the 2017 Ragga Soca and Soca Monarch. With 23 artists looking to gain the ultimate title, patrons are filled with anxiety as to if there will be the crowning of new monarchs or if the reigning monarchs will retain their crowns. Reigning Ragga Soca monarch Chawali Johnson described his year-long reign as humbling, as he was given the opportunity to uplift and promote the Vincentian culture. He added that patrons will definitely be in for a treat come competition night.
A lot of great experiences, you know, going to Grenada, International Soca Monarch in Trinidad, you know, all the love from the people, you know, that's one of the most important things, you know. Saturday, I mean, there's a lot of good music in the competition, you know, a lot of great Ragga Soca. I mean, we should be proud of that as Vincentians. You know, we continue to produce good music. You know, inviting everybody to come on out and support Vincentian talent.
Noting that 2016 was indeed a great year for him and his team, having secured not only the Soca Monarch crown, but also the road march title, Shane Hyper 4000 Husbands is promising nothing less than an extraordinary showcase.
Never mission accomplished, because the mission and the dream bigger than just crowns and monarchs and all them stuff. It's all about getting Vincy music out there. We must urge everyone to come out and support all the Vincy artists. You know, for sure. Just expect a great performance of me. As usual, we're going to bring our A game, and as I always said, even last year before we won the Soca Monarch for the first time, Soca Monarch is one on the night, and it's one on performance, and you're definitely going to see a performance of me this coming Saturday night.
Finalist in this year's Soca Monarch competition, Ryan Royal Abraham, while expressing his elation on making it so far in the competition, urged the entire Vincentian public, returning nationals and visitors, to come out to the Victoria Park and be a part of the greatest party for Vincy Mass 2017.
Just expect high energy, melody, lyrics, and a great performance in total. Big up all other artists who will be competing for the night. And it'll be peaceful, everything good, everything up. I'm feeling superb, confident, well rested, and ready up. And let people make sure to remember to come out early, because I'll be appearing at number 5 for the night.
Scheduled to begin at 8 p.m. sharp, patrons will witness 11 artists coming up against 2016 Ragga Soca monarch Chawali, with the other 12 artists seeking to dethrone 2016 Soca monarch Hyper 4000. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
Meantime, CDC Chairman Ricardo Adams was asked about the momentum of the Soca Monarch competition and whether it will regain its massive crowd after last year's disappointing fall-off. He said he has no doubt Victoria Park will be filled to capacity come Saturday night.
The vibe on the ground that we're getting is that there was a fall off in Soca Monarch last year, that there's going to be a resurgence this year. One of the wonderful things about it is there is no clear front runner. the defending monarch is going to come to defend his throne. So to Chiwali, who's the Ragga Soca monarch, he's coming to defend. So neither of them are going to hand over their crowns. They're going to come to defend. Of course, you have Fireman still in the competition. He's knocking at the door. You have Ragga Finesse. You have El Punk and Flanker and too many names to mention. Fire Empress. All of those people who are, some of whom are seasoned campaigners and who will therefore be bringing the big challenges. And then you have the young, fresh faces, the guys who just coming into the art form.
Known as one of the best nation entertainers, soca artist and music producer Shirts James has over the years represented the Vincentian Soca arena well. While speaking with SVG-TV News earlier this week, James expressed his elation in not only being able to share his music with the public, but to also be able to contribute and be a part of the 40th anniversary celebrations of Vincy Mass.
I do know is happening is a lot of people came into the island to experience Vincy Mass for the very first time. A lot of people who have never been here, period, came here, and they are here now currently. This makes 10 years since my first road march, Party Animal, and it's basically the 40th anniversary, you know, so everything is on the upscale. I have a little campaign I'm running, which I also have a song with the same title that's called Don't Kill the Vibe, which means it's a challenge to all Vincentians to have an incident-free carnival, you know, no accidents, don't drink and drive, you know, no violence, you know, let's give our country and our carnival a good name so when the visitors leave, they leave with something positive on their minds and a lot of fun and enjoyment.
Scheduled to take the stage at the 2017 Ragga Soca and Soca Monarch competition as a guest performer, Jim said even though he is not a competitor, persons can expect a great showcase.
It's going to be somewhat of a mini concert for me. I don't have to do a rendition of any one particular song, and you know my catalog in St. Vincent especially is very extensive, so I have the ability to perform multiple songs, and you know, a couple of songs that I might not have done or might not have been able to do if I was a competitor in the competition itself. So I'm really looking forward to that. You know, I'm still going to treat it as if I'm competing in terms of vibes and energy. So everyone should just come out, support all the young local acts competing in the competition, and look out for a performance on myself.
Urging persons to come out and support what's left of the festive season, James, who is also celebrating 10 years since his first road march title, said he will always be a proud representative and promoter of the Vincentian culture and the Vincy Mass product.
Well, as far as persons expecting a road march, only God knows. He's the only person who knows, because a lot of people expected a road march last year as well, and it didn't happen. And you know, we just pushed on, and we are happy for all the winners. I mean, I believe everybody's a winner anyway, because once the music comes out and it does somewhat well or somewhat better than you did the year before, even on the same scale, then you're still winning. You know, and at the end of the day, as long as I could bring some sort of representation musically, you know, and represent my culture, I'll be happy regardless of what may happen at the end of the day. I just want to wish everybody a very safe and euphoric rest of the carnival season 2017. Never do wrong thing for you make money. Night on me. Boop.